very happy to have our very young friend, youngest friend of mine, I should say, Prem Vidushi. She is really busy, always. I have never felt that there is a distance between me and her. I stand nowhere, and she is at certain height. Of course, not at all. तर मला खरं म्हणजे असं आवडलं असतं की मी फक्त प्रेम दीदींचीच इंट्रोडक्शन करून देणं, परंतु तुम्हा सगळ्यांना माहित असलेली गोष्ट म्हणून मला हे सांगायला आवडेल की त्या सुरेश वाडकरजींच्या गुरुभगिनी आहेत.
You see, in Ramayana, Tulsidas has said that in Kala Yuga, the most important.
Wherever you feel comfortable, you can sit.
Yeah, thank you. No, I'm fine. Anywhere it is good. If I have to talk about music, I'm always ready. So in Ramayana he says the most important thing in Kali Yuga will be the hair. Women will spend quite a lot of time on hair to look beautiful. Not only women, also men. Well, I don't know why it plays such an important part, it does. Yeah. So, my topic I selected healing part of music. How many of you are aware of it? You are? What do you know about it? I'll talk to you. That young guy there.
Work is quite related with this, and I basically am working on the stories of each episode. I thought that specific this is very much
Do you know scientifically what it means? According to science. I mean, music is a science for me. So, how are the music related to healing? How are the notes, swaras? Make it a little louder.
Western approach or Indian approach?
Any.
Okay.
Notes is notes, swara is swara. They haven't used any eighth note. It's all, it may be octave, but we still have 7 notes.
I have the emotions. Emotions is
Yes.
directly on our body, and this is in the color aspect, that is our
Okay, we'll talk about it. I'll tell you a little more in detail. In fact, since you are so much interested, I would say study some of the scriptures that we have on old Granths. The translation of all of them is available. And I haven't got anything out of my head. It's all there for all of us to see. I'll give you whatever I've got as reference. You were going to say something.
Yeah, basically, when the person is very stressed and emotional blockings are there, if you listen to music, it will release our stress because of the hormonal changes and the brain creates good vibrations, good hormones, and it itself healing our body.
Yeah, but why it happens if we know, then we'll be able to deal with it much better in the class. When a student is not Visura but is Kansura, that is the most irritating thing. How do you bring that child to sleep? Why? And what happens to the listener? Naturally, that happens also to the student, the one who is singing. Once we explain it to them, they try then looking at even the meter that we have, and we know when it is 240 it is correct, or today they will say 440. At 438, it's bad. If you can do that, I'll just give you one example that I am really interested to give, and I always remember. Kishorita Mukherjee. I've heard lots of people complaining that she takes such a hell of a time to tune. Why can't she tune her instrument in the green room? What you don't know is that from the green room to the stage, the instrument has to be carried. It gets a transformation into another atmosphere according to the temperature of the rooms and the passage that you are going through. You tune it by putting it on the ground or putting it in your lap. That makes a difference. And when I'm going through my lecture, that is the first topic that I want to talk about. Let the person give as much time as she wants to tuning. Otherwise, you are going to hurt yourself. Really, very sadly and strongly. Okay, so I begin now. He is also in his own right a musician. He also works for Vasan and has been working for quite some time now. But he plays the guitar. He has also directed Sureshi to sing in his CD. Music CD. So for us, everybody who is related to us through Adivasan is only the world of music. Even if you are not interested, you get interested in that. I just pick up everyone who is working, every peon, everyone. Come, I teach you. I want a musical world. So, first of all, I would like to express my thought, my thankfulness, gratefulness to you all that I've been really asked by Vidushi to come and feel honored to address all of you. You are already experts in your respective fields, whatever you are doing. I heard some part of it, the person who was speaking before me. And then just one word of mudra, and it inspired me. I have always been doing that, you know. We know we sit like this. Have you ever asked yourself, why do we sit like this in this position when we are meditating? Do you know when you brush your teeth or you apply manjan especially, we don't use this finger. Do you know why? Why? Always ask why. Encourage your students also to ask why. This is the finger of death. When you apply manjan with this, the teeth will decay faster. This is shani. Where did I do right there? Do it like this. I'm just giving you examples. This is the healing power of our body also. Okay, let's go ahead. I don't think I have too much time. I have studied music very seriously, and I have been experiencing mesmerizing, enthralling, and sometimes intriguing effects of music on myself. I also got inspired and motivated by my father, Sri G.L. Vasant. He suggested me to listen to some particular rag when I was in this coast. And look, I'm a blind follower of my father. So I would do that, listen to that rag. I was not feeling well and he said, Vilaskani Thodi, Suno Nanda. And I didn't have all the means. And fortunately enough, I switched on the radio and it was Paluskar, TV Paluskar singing Vilaskani Thodi. I have understood that rag very well now only because of that record. Because it had that effect on me. At that time I didn't know anything, I was about 11, 12. But it just so happened that once we were invited by an marshal of music and we went there and the performance was wonderful, everybody performed very well. When the whole thing got over, the lady incidentally talked to my father and said, Inko neend nahi aati. It's been months that he hasn't slept. I said, what's the problem? let me try something. He made the lights dimmer, asked him to put his feet up and lean on the sofa, just sitting down, not lying down. And he picked up his guitar and started playing Gantish. I know because I had learned it too. No tabla. We were sitting there, we were absolutely quiet. Guruji Badara and said, you have to be very respectful. But slowly, even we started feeling drowsy. Very soon, we heard slight snoring by that gentleman. The one who had not been able to sleep was snoring. His wife was sitting there and crying. That's the day when I realized what an instrument I had in my hand, not sitar, I mean music. What we can achieve with the help of that. Today, look at the newspapers, search the net, and you will find lots of reports talking about how children focus better, concentrate better, get better results. Just imagine a fidgety child. We get them all the time because we start very early. They are sitting there, don't want to sit. They'll get up, go about, see, touch here and there. I don't mind them to talk. Whoever says it's very disturbing, I ask them to send the child to me. I accommodate that. I even stop talking about the music. I just talk to them. And they point out, what is this? Harmonium. How do you play it? Show him. Put his finger on that. By the time it is fifth day, exactly fifth day, the child becomes, excuse me to say that, my slave. Follows me, turns his face wherever I go. Because he knows that I'm talking for his benefit. It is something which he has liked. Wants a pencil? No. Wants to write on the board? Good. On the wall? No problem. All allowed. Only to get the attention of the child to music which I am playing. About 6-year-old child, Upasana, came to learn music from my father. She used to come directly from the school and would sit among the kids and comfortably doze off on the sofa. 6 months passed. The mother was worried. Paying for 6 months and nothing has happened. He doesn't even say sa. My father said, you're worried about the fees? Don't pay me anything. Better come to the class, she's learning, don't worry. All of a sudden, one day when she was bathing her, she started singing Hey Mahadev Bhupali. Because that's what was being taught. Children are learning all the time. It's not only Abhimanyu who learned. All of us learn. Some of us learn towards the parents too, and some of us learn. Padma, my sister-in-law, was pregnant with the second child, and we went to a program where they were beating the drums. She was about 7 months pregnant. You know, all the Western music. And the child started kicking her left and right. Hey, what is teaching? Well, with this music, your child is used to the classical music. And so, don't worry. Your children are learning, so are you. So, for me, that is the best healer I can think of. So, this is how I got into this mode of the power of music. Now, let me talk about music as therapy. What is music? When we teach children music, the first, even the initial students in your university, the initial thing we say, Sangeet शिकायला येतात तुम्ही म्हणजे काय करतात 99% they say we sing गाणं म्हणजे संगीत singing vocal is music ऐसा ना is only 1/3 of it. Look at the scriptures, they say. Anybody who can repeat what is Sangeet?
3 parts are there. Dance, then music, and
What do you mean by music? Careful, careful. Yeah. Geetam, Bhadyam, Tatha, Nrityam, Trayam Sangeetam Uchyate. Right? So if you know only 1/3 of the musician. And my students naturally ask me, but we are not dancing. I said, really? You know, when you do sa or you do the dance, what are you doing with your hand? Why are you doing? Why can't you sit like this? And tanpura bajate isn't that an instrument? I'll show you how tanpura is actually made. This one slide totally devoted to that. So, and the next question is Dhvani. I will come to that. Yeah, I'll come to that. Right now, I'm just introducing my subject. When you are running out of time or you are tired, please let me know. Alright, come back. The first thing is the sound. What do we call sound in music? No one? Oh my God. What is sound in Hindi or Sanskrit, Marathi? Dhvani. Yes, correct. And what is the difference between Dhvani and Nad? Nad is also Dhvani. What is the difference? Musical. Not only. It is the musical sound which is Nad, which is different from sound. Every sound, even this, is sound. What I am saying is also sound, but it's not music. This is not Nad. It's only talking, yakking. We could be in a fish market, a child could be crying. It's not Nad. And in the Nad, we have 2 types of Nads. Huh? What is Anahat Nad for you?
That is not uttered. Not another is not uttered.
Not uttered.
Unstruck, basically.
Yeah. In fact,
Unstruck.
unstruck. Exactly.
Sound you strike something like
That's
this.
right. That's right. You know, there are types of sounds. You can always see this one is while playing the violin, or this is tabla and tap. So these nods are there. They are musical. And another nod is there. Is it musical or not musical? How do you know? You've never heard it. Hello? Yeah. Ahat is the one which is heard. Ahat, I am heard. Anahat, not heard. Heard by what? 4 ways of doing it. That you of course know. Now, we haven't done this. Nobody has done it. Surya also doesn't know that he is doing it or she is doing it, whatever. But it is happening. And the sound which emanates, which comes out of this, from the sun, do you know what it is? Om. Very, very clearly Om. In fact, in NASA, the comment is that this is the same Om which the Hindus have been talking about since ages. Now, I want to talk to you about the beginning of the world. We say in the beginning there was nothing. In Bible they say, John's book number 1, which I refer to very often. It also says, in the beginning there was nothing, no light, no nothing. No light. What was there before light? Darkness. Darkness. There was no light, there was nothing. The world was only with him, with God. He said, be, and it became. And then we talk about the Big Bang. What is this Big Bang? In the same, you also hear the frequency which we hear. The lowest frequency is about 1/6, and the highest we can tolerate is about 24,000. If we listen to something higher than that, it can blast our brain. It has been proved in fiction. They show it in the films that somebody wanted to kill someone. So he called him up and put that high frequency, and that person died. But हंसते हंसते खेलते खेलते आपको बता दिया, this is the thing. If I say Big Bang is probably that high frequency ohm, and out of that globe which was round, it blasted, water seeped in, and I can assure you, do this to your students, they'll be very happy. And take those chunks together and ask them to put them together, and it becomes round. Have you ever done that? Look at the map. Look at all the things. Remove water, cut those pieces, put them together, it becomes round. Since I have done it with my students, I'm just trying to tell you how it helps. The technology, how it helps. When I do it with the children, they are very happy. Then they don't need to think what the Big Bang was all about. They believe. They believe because they have seen it. And we say, Om Nada Deenam Jagat. The whole universe is Adin, dependent upon the sound, the big sound. I'm talking only scriptures. I'm not talking anything out of my head as I said earlier. And this Anahat came there. So when I talk about the power of sound, I also want to talk to you about some quotations that I have here, which I'm sure you will like. The sound encompasses a profound power. This sound is the first manifestation of the absolute. Nada Dhinam Jagat. आप लोग बातें मत करो. I have a very bad ear, very fine. चुप करो ना. I can hear everything. Finally, incredibly energized with bravura, soul force. Sound is the one powerful principle in all creation, which extensively influences and effectively brings all the manifestations under control. Many examples can be quoted to bear testimony to this claim of sound regarding both the individual and the universe. Sound in the form of wave motions transmits energy, which we know, and vibrates the medium it travels in, concludes in the form of human emotions not visible to the naked eye, like this little bache was disturbing me. Why can't I hear only myself? Why can't I hear also the crow crying outside? The fault lies within me. Very fine hearing. I can hear the fan. You don't pay attention, even you can hear it. You have to practice that. To be able to listen to the correct frequency of the note, you have to practice that. I suggest do it in the morning when you get up. Just sit calmly, quietly, and try to listen to all the sounds that you have around you. Keep it as a regular practice. Your power will become very, very wonderful, very fine. You may wonder, what is she talking about? Why is she talking like that? Because I practice it every day, and you can see that here very well. A little murmur and it disturbs me. Do that. My suggestion to you all. So music is first and foremost sound in its most refined, purified form. Nature has sound emanating from even the atmosphere, which human ear may not be capable of hearing. There are 5 elements, earth, fire, air, water, and ether, to express themselves through sounds which can be termed musical. Another most incredible of the facts is that no organ of ours comprehends isolated particles of the so-called five elements. What I want to say is that the ear or the eye or the skin, etc., can see or feel fire in its solid form, but not its particle or segregated atom. Is it too much? Is it too much to understand? Such quiet. Object, please. Objection overruled. You should have said that. Now, what I'm trying to say is, we are not aware of this because we don't think about it. Once you do that, your music becomes close to perfect. Perfect will not be. 100% only he can. He can come to 90, 93, 94 probably. Yataji about 96. Or the others. Classical singers are not very apt. They overlook. Sorry to say that. So, if I talk about that at length, we will need another seminar. From Swami Shivananda's teachings, I have a quote. Music is the most ancient of arts. Suresh says it very beautifully. It is not visible. When you paint, you can see what the painting is. You can see the color. When you sculpt, you can see the figure. When the music is there open, Suraya is Suraya, you can only feel. So this is the best of the arts. No doubt about it, the highest art. Music is in the wind and the bass. Music is in the nightingale and the crow which is going there. It is in cinema stars, musicians. It is in the concert, orchestra, theatres. There is music in the running brooks. There is music in the crying of children. There is music in all things if you have ears. Swami Shivananda. I came across this lady of Son of Sun. So my topic for discussion today is the therapy. The heart, please. How many of you understand the heart? Can you tell me what those two are jutting out? Arteries. And I always thought there were two. But there are three. What explains that is my music. Look at this. We have Vadi Samvadi. The best is the difference of distance of 13 shrutis. And if that Samvadi is not available, then we take the Navam, that is the distance of 9, which is Madhyam. Sharad Madhyam, Sharad Pancham Bhav. So, this is it. That is, if the heart is affected in one of them, the second one starts. It starts helping it. I'm talking exact scientific fact. There is a blockage in one, the other one starts. Takes over for some time. And what are these down? There is another word for that. It can't be artery. Huh? Sorry? Capillary. And what is that in Hindi, Marathi? Nadi. Please listen to Suresh. जोर नहीं बजा सकते. Stop. This means in the heart was Varana. There are 22 veins, branches of blood supply which can be distinctly heard by Shruti. These correspond to 22 Shrutis of sound. This was from Sarve Kalalini. Those people who have no access to technology as it is today, we can look on the heart and see how many, whatever. They have written this. I admire that. Besides this, there is a chapter in Sharadeji's Sangeet Ratnakar, and he talks about the origin of notes, musical notes, their relation with different ligaments, chakra, and organs of the body. Probably today very few will be ready to accept this, but it surely needs to be studied seriously. And this is from Sangeet Makarand, chapter 1, about the colors, the second chapter. To just show it, yeah, you can see that these chakras, they have their colors. Crown is that bro, throat, heart, solar chakra, spleen, and root chakra. These names are known to you. They are corresponding to the swaras. Next, please. The sound is not going. I'm sorry, you missed. Acha, please wait. Next. Swarnavardhana. So, Sa is pink, like the lotus. D, Re is green in color. Ga is a golden green. Ma resembles a jasmine, a mixture of yellow and red. Pa is light orange in color. Dha's shade is yellow. Ni is red in color. Now I'm coming to the most important thing in my subject, and that is the ras. How they are connected to the rasas.
This three chakras which you just showed. So why is it
Yeah, I am not talking about that. Sangeet Makarand talked about it. And I will tell you something very funny afterwards, after I finish this next. Very, very interesting. I don't know whether you have experienced it, but okay, the next one, please. It is the emotions we are talking about, the rasas. Huh? Yes, I know. I'm not going to cross that. Next one. Huh. Rautra. Shantam. Madhyamas. Shringali. So these are the 7 seats occupied by the swaras. I was going to talk to you about something which I have experienced very often. after my practice of at least about an hour or so, whatever I may be doing or listening to music, especially when I'm myself playing my instrument or when others are singing, I ask them to understand or differentiate the hues of the colors. Some of them can't. I get totally blind towards blue and black because I'm using those notes and the mixture is so strong that sense of individual color gets mixed up with the next one. Sare ga pa dha sa bhuvali or Teshkar. Depends upon where I take the Vali Samvali. It disturbs. So this is where the power of music is. If you don't agree, think about it, you will. I'm also going to now not play, but I'll just tell you about the elements very quickly. If you have just heard and seen, since the color of Sa is like the pink lotus by nature, it is cool and emanates bliss. Therefore, it is very effective for bile-related ailments, not but we have done that, we have experimented and we have seen that it works. If you want, I can give a copy of that to you and you can all then read on your own. All the notes, and in the end he says, ज्ञात्वा सर्वमिदं, याद रख लीजिए ये सब कि शास्त्र में जो लिखा है आयुरारोग्य वैश्वर्यम, दिस आपके आयु आरोग्य के ऊपर इफेक्ट करता है. So I'm proud, believe me, I'm proud of my ancient writers, and then I start thinking about the effect. You know about Tansen, of course, everybody knows. You also know about the Vaidya who used to come home to look at the person, just a glance at that person and he would say, not going to live, call all your. How? That's not music, but that is a little variatory. हाँ बता नहीं मालूम ना मुझे लगा आपको मालूम है. More than that, you want evidence. You'll be surprised. Why do we have this? All over India. Not this. This is useless. No. Third eye थोड़ी खुलती है that the Vaidya comes and says, अरे तेरी आँख तो बंद है. Something much more. Not. Yeah, I agree with you. But how by looking at the patient, the Vaidya knows? Huh? It must be what? But there is something which we do all over India with the forehead. Anyone? Tika, Utla? No, what do we prefer? Actually, what is the original, do you know? Chandan. Very right. And Ola Kara Shastra, Bhasa Shastra, the Salayapur. And you applied that, and what happens to you? Huh? You don't do anything. You don't do anything. You apply it and forget about it. But the onlooker knows that you have applied it and it is what? Still wet or dry. If it remains wet, call your doctor. You are in trouble. Try it. Try me, please. I'm challenging you. Try it. क्या हुआ? Are you going to check me? मैंने तो लगाया नहीं था सुखास दिया को. Yeah, so let's come back to our subject. That these ailments, as I said, I can give you a copy of that, and the translation is available in the books also. So, just the last thing which my students are extremely interested in, the origin of swar. Of course, we know the sound emanates from peacock, it is sun, right? And Rishabh is the bull. What he says is rain. You know what? Please, quickly. नहीं, ये तो कठिन काम है, वो सारे काम बदल. All those photographs. Keep going. नीचे. This is a book which I would recommend everybody. 7 colors, 7 chapters, and 7 swar. Come here, more clear, more. Sa. दूसरा. ऋषभ. गांधार, सारस. God. What is that? My question to you, as I ask my students, also little ones, from the 3rd standard, from the academic school. So I said, if they all sit together, the elephant will tell more Sarau. What are they all doing? Is Rishabh aware that he is seeing rain? So, what all of them are doing? They are not talking. How can an elephant talk to a quail? There is no other. You can see the quail will sing only in that. There can be 100 quails or only one. All the elephants put together will sing me. So what is each individual doing?
Nature, they are responding to nature.
Very precisely. Music क्या?
Expressing themselves.
What are they singing, all of them? You are so close. Oh, come on, yeah. Anybody? Youngsters?
Is it Rasa?
Huh?
Is it Rasa?
It is what?
Rasa?
No. They are singing. कौन सा सुर गा रहे हैं?
There's no, that song is there. What I can say.
I agree with you.
What they say, Dhar is for Raghu.
Huh?
So, for Dhar it is horse.
That's true. But what is the horse doing? कौन सा सुर गा रहा है? हॉर्स को क्या बोलते तुम धागा? वो मुंह से आवाज निकालता है. You're so close. I got this answer from a young 8-year-old Sardar boy from my school, and I was thrilled. He said, Miss, why don't you understand? They are all singing their sa. Sa. तुम्हें विचारता ना कुठली पट्टी का? That is the sound which you are given. You are born with. The first cry of the child is the sur that the child has. Besura punishment. So teach them. This helps me a lot. I'm only telling you how technology helps me from the absolute beginners to the research scholars. They want to do some research, I use this. And I would recommend that. Online also when I teach kind of thing, this is what I do. You know, when you just say people, they can imagine, but then with the sound if you say, it registers well. It's a very powerful instrument in your hand. We used to do in the B.Ed, etc., you must have learned that you used to take placards with you, with a picture of the da 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 da.